Good morning, everyone. This is Jennifer Sanchez. You are watching the Wise Morning Coffee Chat Show. Might as well throw some Christmas music as the intro this morning. I just saw a new option said Christmas. I'm like, let me try that and see how that sounds, right? So
Oh,
who am I? My name is Jennifer Sanchez. I'm the founder of the Women's Institute of Self Development Efficacy. I know that's super long, so WISE for short. This is an organization that has been launched since 2018, where we help women become unshakable, faith filled, and purpose driven through retreats, conferences, special events, networking, mentorship, coaching. We holistically want to help women get to the next level in life, professional and entrepreneurial women. And we also have a running community where we focus on body positivity, we focus on exercise and health and wellness. And we gather on Sunday mornings to run in the Oak Park area. As well as I'm a mom of three beautiful girls, and I am a real estate investor. So that's who I am. Kim, who are you?
oh my God, how am I going to follow all that? Good
You got a
morning.
lot. You got a lot.
Good morning, Wise Community. Good morning, Marty Bell. Marty Bell's on this morning. Good morning, my sister. Oh my God, I miss her so much. My name is Kimberly Montesinos. I am the owner of Crystal Clear Cleaning. I service the Northwest suburbs. It's a residential and small commercial cleaning company. We've been in business since 2004. I also am a marketing rep for Melaleuca, which is an online store that provides non-toxic products throughout the store that you can shop online, like a Costco, on Amazon Prime, or Sam's Club, and it's delivered right to your front door. And over the summer, I did acquire my coaching certification. So I'm in the process of seeing how I want to navigate that. And of course, I love co-hosting coffee chats on Monday morning. That's like my injection of my caffeine for the week. So that's me.
Yeah, see, I told you you had plenty. Dr. Lopez, she's on here and she said,
Oh,
Powerhouses, may our Heavenly Father bless you. Thank you so much. And likewise to you, Dr. Lopez. Super excited. So today it's going to be a nice short conversation. But before we go into any conversations, those that jump on all the time with us, you know that it is coffee time. We love talking about.
yeah.
I think I was thinking about it on yesterday. Everything we do revolves around coffee or coffee shops or coffee this. I mean, from the beginning, right? Like when we did
Right.
our first workshops, it was like, oh, let's go at a coffee shop and have meetings at
All
coffee shops,
right. That's
right?
true.
You
Yeah.
know, so even running, it's like, oh, we go run and then let's go get coffee afterwards, right? Like this is something that we typically do. What are you drinking this morning, Kim?
I am drinking my Inspired by You Rise coffee. I just put some oatmeal caramel creamer to give it a little flavor, but it's with
Mm,
oat milk. But this is funny. My brother gave me this cup. It says "Bah humbug." Although
that's
I
cute.
love this time of year, but it just reminds me of him because he always liked to throw in something like a Grinch style because he's the Grinch, right? So the coffee's delicious, and I'm so glad you inspired me to buy it because I love it. So that's what I'm drinking. What about you?
Yeah, same thing. I'm actually drinking the mushroom coffee too.
Are you too?
Um, I'm drinking it off of this Chris Kindle Market
Hmm.
mug because I did go like what 3 weeks ago maybe to that market to check it out. So I went. I was pretending to be a tourist that weekend. But yeah, I'm drinking. I think I told you guys, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So wait, but my 10-year-old told me she bought me a mug and she was
Okay.
like, I want you to open it in front of everybody in your show. So and she said it's for the season. So I'm like, okay, mommy, like I will open it up. So she was like, you gotta show it to everybody. So it's have yourself
Oh,
a merry little Christmas mug she gave me. She's like, it's for your show, mom.
is
To
this
have
Sophie?
Sophie, yeah, my 10-year-old.
Oh my gosh, she's. Can I tell you a quick story about that car?
Yeah, yeah, go for it.
So,
You too?
so yes. So because Dr. Lopez is on, we went with a friend of ours, Dolly, who you know. Uh, Maribel and I normally overspend when we go shopping, buying stuff. Like we love to buy decor. And Dolly's like, girls, I'm going to teach both of you how to shop. So I think it was 2 years ago. We went with Dolly, I, and Dr. Lopez went shopping. And Dr. Lopez and I both bought a car that looks just like your mug, right?
Oh, really?
And to decorate, and she showed, yes, just like that car, and it's so pretty. So I think Maribel's is a little bit bigger, but it just reminded me of our shopping, laughing and learning how to shop better. Buy nice things, be more frugal or cautious or whatever. I can't even remember, but I just remember it was so much fun. And that car, it reminded me of a car that I bought, or Dr. Maribel bought, that was really beautiful. So that's a beautiful mug. Sophie's so sweet.
She
All
is.
the girls are.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, no, we have Dr. Lopez over here. She's cracking up. And I'll show her comments in a little bit.
She got it all over.
Um, but yeah, that's coffee time. So for those that are watching, if you guys are drinking coffee, feel free to share what you're drinking in the chat, and we'll show it on the screen as well. But today I quickly wanted to talk about, I think everyone's in the spirit, or everyone's in the mood, or everyone's talking about planning and New Year's resolutions. And this is kind of that time that everyone kind of likes to reflect, right? And figure out
Mhm.
what they're trying to do for 2024. Um, so I want to talk about it because yesterday, for those that are watching, me, you, and two other team members from the WISE community of Mel and Mary, we got together and we planned the entire 2024 year, right? So
Yeah.
uh, I don't know how many of our viewers like to plan, but Kim, how do you manage planning? And for those that are watching, share as well. What are your tips and tricks for planning, or what do you like to do for planning for the new year?
Actually, yesterday was really enlightening if I want to be, being totally transparent, because normally I sit down and think about the year in business, right? The two things I think about, year in business, and just like most Americans or most people, you're like losing weight or health. I want to eat healthier, I want to lose weight or something. But what I loved about yesterday is it was really taking what worked last year,
Mm-hmm.
tweaking it, and then saying, okay, what didn't work, let's look at that, and what worked, how can we enhance it. So honestly, I was really inspired by yesterday's meeting, to how am I going to sit down and do like a quadrant, instead of just focusing on health and focusing on my business, do a quadrant on like health, spirituality, relationships. And I want to incorporate more fun in my life this year, because last year I work, and I had increment, small things of fun, but like really enjoying my family more this year, or really enjoying just having fun where I can let my hair down and not worry about anything. So I need that quadrant to come in, and then and then sitting down with my team and saying what worked last year and what didn't, and what can we do to, enhance what worked and make that even better. So I thought yesterday was more because, and then, when you sit down and you've got four, it's a mastermind, right? So I love masterminds, and I really encourage our community to participate in masterminds, because with us sitting there, the four of us, it brought a lot different perspectives, and it just made it I think even more progressive, because we had four different views. We had um, great ideas of planning, and then we were able to come to a consensus and say, yeah, that did, or what about this, or I just thought it was a great day to be spent on planning, which I've never done it in that capacity. So I just feel like, just a little shout out to our lovely community. Let's get on those masterminds, girls, because they can change your life.
Yeah, absolutely. This is something that traditionally, and I know Kim's like newer with us on the team, but we usually always pick one day and we will sit there for hours and plan. Like, yeah, it's heavy on time, right? But like
Mhm.
we're doing a lot of pre-planning as well and thinking prior. So maybe 2 weeks out, we're already like thinking about what we want. Like the biggest question we had for our what did we like this year and what did
Mhm.
we not like and what do we want to see more of, right?
Mhm.
Those were like the
Mhm.
questions that, and that's how we kicked it off our meeting yesterday, right? It was like, all right,
Mhm.
what do you want to see more of? And
Right.
Mel was straight to the point, like just give it to me, straight. Um, and we
Right.
all went around, we're like, I like this, I like that, I like this, I like that, and we kind of all did that. And that's a good way of, for anyone that's planning, right? What
Yeah.
is it that you liked for 2023? What is it that you didn't like? And what is it that you want to see more of in 2024? It could be that simple,
Yeah.
you know?
It was. It really was. It was that simple, but at the same time intense
It
because
was.
and you needed a Mel in the group, so we always do have that in a sense of like keeping you on track because people can really get off track because when you start talking about everybody's opinions and ideas, it can really go deep, deep, deep. So having that like person that keeps everybody okay, we're going to get to the point, we keeping that time, keeping us aligned with okay, we've got that, let's move on to the next. I just thought everything just worked out really smoothly, so that whole day went by so fast. It didn't feel like, oh, it just felt very productive at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And I see some comments here, and I could show. Maribel,
Okay.
yes, love. Don't be afraid to pivot, make more of what's productive changes than what does not work. Absolutely. I know there was a Facebook user that said, I have a hard time planning. Honestly, I'm working on sticking to 90-day plan, which is understandable. Um, Dr. Lopez is having her regular coffee, cream and sugar. And then another Facebook user, and because they're commenting from that private group, we can't see the name. So please make sure you share your name. My morning Herbalife tea, ginger flavor, and aloe. Nice. That is
Oh,
delicious. It sounds delicious. Um,
does.
yeah, I think we do. And that's a great thing about masterminds. And that's a great thing about being in teams. It's understanding everyone's strengths, right?
Yes.
And
Okay.
understanding who is good at what in your team and be able to play on those strengths. And that's one of the
Absolutely.
biggest things that I believe. Like, yes, people, there's tasks and there's things that businesses need to get done, but you really want to utilize people for what they're good at, and
Right.
like,
And
go ahead,
mm.
Kim.
No, I was just going to say one of the things that I learned on my last coaching call 2 weeks ago was on the flip side of that, putting the wrong person in a spot, you're doing more damage not only to the company but to them. So it's very, very imperative when you're working in teams to know those strengths like you're talking about and make sure that they're working in their strength, not out of their strength, because then it's counterproductive. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, so that's why yesterday, even like Mel's strength, your strength, my strength, Mary's strength, they all came together, and it was just really, um, it was just a lot of fun. It was laughter. It was uh, recognizing. It was creating new ideas. It was just a whole slew of things that were amazing when you come together and plan. It takes the guesswork out of stuff. There's what I'm trying. You don't have to guess when you sit and plan, and that doesn't mean things go exactly how planned. But with a plan, at least you have a format. You have a foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. Because my belief, first off, I plan all the time. Like, there's
Mhm.
never like planning is just part of life for me. And
Mhm.
you, Kim, I know I've seen you plan. Like, we always get together. I'm always doing masterminds. I'm always meeting with my coaches, right? So there's always this. I'm gonna sit down and plan, and like Dr. Lopez said, pivot if needed, right? Add something new, right? So
Mhm.
the end of this year, I want to say maybe October, we switched over just to straight masterminds, right? Like, okay, now we're just going straight masterminding. What was the
Yeah.
foundational piece of what the organization represented? What's the thing that I enjoy the most too, right? And we asked ourselves, like, what is it that we love the most? And we enjoy masterminding, right? We enjoy whole accountability. That's what we're all about in this community, is holding each other accountable. And that's what we love to do as a community, whether it's health and wellness, whether it's
Mhm.
reaching our goals, whether it's whatever the case may be, because accountability can be used in different areas of your life, even relationships, right? Like,
Right.
I want to be a better mom. I want to be a better wife. I want to be, you know, um, I want to hold myself accountable to not drinking alcohol the way that I typically drink alcohol, or, I want to get rid of this vice, like, and that's what accountability groups are good at, and
Mhm.
I have some comments here. And Kim, if you have any thoughts,
Oh
please.
no, I totally agree. Like, that's why I mentioned the quadrant, you know. Oh, oh,
Esme, she said, missed my team yesterday. Good morning from Esme. Esme, she's one of the runners in the running community.
oh,
Yes, she's awesome. It's going to be a whole year she's been running with us. Uh,
oh,
Yam,
wonderful.
yeah, Yamala I was thinking for this upcoming year to body doubling to work on my goals. Example, get together with someone on Zoom where we are both working on our goals. Yeah. Absolutely, that's a great idea. And the biggest thing is you want someone that is actually, see, everyone is going to talk. Here's what we're going to see, and this is a trend. January, everybody and their mama wants to set goals. Everybody and their mama is going to say they're going to do X, Y, and Z, right? And then by February, they stop. It's we've been doing this since 2018, so it's pretty normal to see. So you really got to find someone that's really serious about what they're trying to do, and honestly, they have to have some sort of investment. There has to be some sort of investment, or some sort of, like, at end result, right? Like something that's more tangible for them to
Mhm.
continue to meet with you in the accountability, right?
Right.
So that's my recommendation. But I know, Kim, I'm sure that's why we planned the whole year in advance. It's like there is no ifs, ands, or buts, right? We know this is a retreat. We know we're going to add a new retreat here. We know that we're going to meet every Saturday morning, every first Saturday of the month. No brainer. We're going to meet. We know we're going to add this event and that event, right? And we're going to
Right.
simplify. I think one of the biggest things that we wanted to do this year was really simplify things for our community,
Yes.
right? Let's make this simple. We're not trying to
Mhm.
complicate things. We want definitely goal-oriented women. We want women to achieve their goals, right? Kim, you're
Right.
very goal-oriented. I'm very goal-oriented. Um, and then move from there. That would be my 2 cents for Gemilette.
Yeah, and that accountability is really, really important, especially when you're trying to get out of your comfort zone, I would say. And don't beat yourself up, but the accountability person, it needs to be consistent, that accountability, because the more consistent you are, like Yamilet's saying, doing it with Zoom with somebody to do your goals. Like, just like in the community, you know, Jennifer decided as a unit that every first of the month we're going to have the mastermind, no matter what. It's every first of the month. So whatever you're partnering with, make a date, make that consistent, and you'll see that you'll start to take baby steps on your goals, and before you know it, you're like, oh, I'm here. And key is, I also think, as women, we're really hard on ourselves if we make a mistake. Just pick it up and keep on going, and keep on your goal. I think that's what Dr. Lopez was saying, is don't be afraid to pivot, and also don't be afraid when an obstacle comes your way, and then you're like, oh, you feel bad just feel bad in that moment, but get out of that feeling and move back into um, focusing on your goals.
Yeah. And you know what really works really well, Kim? At least this is what I find, is being invested in the other person's goal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because if you
Absolutely.
know they reach their goals, you're gonna reach your goals. See, and I think a lot of times when people get into accountability groups or masterminds, right, their biggest agenda is, oh, what am I going to get? What is this in for me? And if it's not
Mm-hmm.
beneficial to me, why am I going to be consistent in something? So, right. But when
Mm-hmm.
you're saying I'm invested in this other individual and I want to see them succeed, the chances of you actually attending and participating and being there for that person shoots up a lot higher, right?
That's true. Mm-hmm.
For
Absolutely, I
example,
agree.
Sunday morning runs. And I say this to everybody, I don't like running. People think that I love it. No, I don't. It's the discipline for me. It's the consistency for me. Like I didn't get accepted to the marathon, right? So I'm sitting here like, dang it. I got to train for another marathon for 2024, which I'm happy about. Yes, like it's going to be great training and discipline. And I probably, because there's a shift, right? When I have to train for a marathon in my eating and my drinking and the way that the sleeping patterns, there's a way that you have to be when you're training, right? Which is going to be
Mm.
good for me. It's going to be good for me. So that's when my daughter was like, Mom, Dad, God knows why he put you in the marathon for 2024. I'm like, okay, great. Like we're gonna train for a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole thing is, I'm showing up on Sundays for the women who show up. If I knew that if it was just me by myself, just going running, the chances of me doing it might not be as high. But because I know
Sure.
that Mary or Isabel or Esme are going, and I'm invested in their running and I'm invested in them being successful and I want to
Mm-hmm.
see them, run and Martha, then I will show up because of that, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. It's a team mentality, right? Remember when I was having a hard time, um, one of our masterminds, it was during COVID, I believe, or right after COVID. I think it was 2021. And I kept saying, I'm going back to, it was right after COVID because the gyms were all closed. And I was a part of Orange Theory and I had lost 30 pounds. I was really happy. And you remember, it took me months, I want to say 6 months to go back to the gym because I had gotten so out of the habit that year of COVID. So to your point, my boyfriend had a heart attack this year in March. I saw that. I saw what he went through. I don't know what that did. I mean, I had already gone back to the gym, but I would like, oh, I blew it off. I go once a week, twice a week. Well, now I have the people that go to my class, they're consistent. So what we do is we hold each other accountable, like see you Wednesday night, see you Tuesday, see you Saturday morning. So now I look forward to seeing them. So it's the same, same kind of, I look forward to seeing those people that I work out with. And so I do it for me, but also so we're as a team, we're trying to get to our goals, right? To stay healthy, um, and just to be active. And you're right, it changes everything. And once you get into that rhythm, I'm like you, girl, I would definitely have a million other things I'd want to like go to the gym. But I always feel so great after I go. And then I get to see those people and they're always uplifting, right? And so there's a lot of wins out of it. And I
Absolutely.
understand yours too. You get to sit and talk to the ladies and have coffee and catch up. And drink healthy coffee because I always love the coffees that you've told me you've had on Sundays. I'm like, I gotta get there because I want to try these turmeric, ginger, blah 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 coffees. So
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
I have this I want to say like a colleague in the real estate investment world, and and I think you might have met his wife. I love this couple, right? Albert and his wife Patty, and I work with them a lot, and I appreciate them in the real estate investment world. They're definitely key people in my life, right? Um, and he will always say in meetings, "You wanna get there quick, go alone, but you wanna get far, go together." right? Right. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want to go, and I might be chopping it up because he says it a lot better, right? But I don't know if Patty's watching, but if you want to go quick, go alone. But if you want to get far, go together, right? So
Wow.
there's always this sense of, in community, you get out there a lot further. You make it further together versus being on your own, you know.
Amen.
So
Yes.
I'm
I love
stealing.
community.
I mean,
I think, yeah, I definitely love community.
and Kim, you've always been that type of person that, like, community,
I do.
it does make sense as to reaching goals and why it
Mm,
works, and because it could be a lonely road.
yeah. I just like you said, when you go, like yesterday when we had our mastermind, for the year, um, you were, when you went, is it Esme? Esme showed up, right? Esmeralda
Esme,
showed up.
yeah.
Yeah. And you were like,
Oh,
um,
Isabel. Yesterday was Isabel.
Isabel. Okay, so Isabel showed up, and I love what you said when you came back. You were like, "Yeah, I'll be there in a little bit because I'm not going to leave Isabel alone. Like we have our routine. I'm going to finish my routine, and I'll be right over." And we were all like, "That was, that made sense because you don't want to break. You want to be there for that other person who did show up, right? Who was there with you. So I totally get it, and I just think that community also inspires. It gives you that fuel to keep going, because some, like you said, not every Sunday you don't want to go run every time, right? There's some Saturdays or some, I go to work out twice a week in the evening. Trust me, I have my clothes in the car because I know if I come to the house, I don't care how good I like these people, I will not go back. So I have it in the car, and once I get there, I'm like, hey, and once I start going, I'm good. And then I come home and I'm like, I'm so glad I did that. So I have to, keep my little bag in the car. But now Saturday I can do it, or if it's a morning thing, I can do it because I have to go according to the schedule of the club. But you make it work, and community makes you accountable, and you start to enjoy something that you once might not have liked.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think this is great. This was a great conversation, Kim, and I know we'll probably keep talking about planning and goal setting, because that's just where we're at in the season of December, and that's usually what people do. But one more thing that I just thought, I shared this video, and I wanted to just end with this thought. And in the video, it said, most of the time, or what is it? 70 or 80% of things that happen good to you just comes from showing up.
Wow.
It was
Wow.
something, and I shared it on my profile, so anybody that wants to watch that video can watch it. And I sat there like, damn, sometimes it just requires showing up for something amazing to happen, or something to come about that, or something, whatever the case may be. You never know what's waiting for you, right? But you gotta show up, right?
Mm, mm.
And that to me was like, damn, sometimes they just show up.
Just show up.
That's it, you know? Um,
You got some great comments.
I know, I see right here, Dr. Lopez. She said, without a vision or mission, we perish. Absolutely. And then Jamila said, that's good, going to watch that video. Yeah, that was a good video. It's a short, quick video that I shared, but it was good for just show up, right? Sometimes you don't want to go to that event, and sometimes you don't want to be part of this group, or sometimes you don't want to do that workout, or you don't, whatever the case may be, just show up. You never know what's waiting for you at that in there,
Right.
you know?
Right.
All right, Kim, do you have any final words before we wrap up?
My final words would be, um, for the community to stay engaged, keep an eye out on what's coming up. And I, just because we were talking about this is one of the topics that we did deep dive in yesterday and talk about for the community. It's just once a month. I'd love to see you. I know Jennifer and the rest of the team would love to see you. Join us on those masterminds, because it's amazing what that can do to have a table of women, or let's fill the tables of women, so that we can make 2024 the best that we can be.
Yep.
And let us be a community to do that and help you do it. That's what I would end this with the mastermind.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. The 6th would be our next mastermind. It's going to be at the Exit at Home office in Pilsen. So make sure you put that on your calendar. It's just 2 hours. 2 hours out of your entire month that you will dedicate to setting goals. And if we think about it in the sense of how further you can go along in life, show up. Sometimes that's all that's required.
And we'll have coffee.
Yes, we'll have coffee. Of course, we'll have coffee. All right, ladies. Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you for everyone watching. I just want to show this mastermind. I met my girls, Kim, Dolly,
That's
and
right.
LOL. So thank you, Maribel, thank you, Gemma, thank you, Kim, and you guys have a great rest of your week.
Bye-bye, ladies. See you next week.
See you next